You broke the law in sharing classified information, and in doing so, endangered the lives of our service members.
They're there to protect federal agents and federal...
Another BS answer. I have called for your resignation. You're an embarrassment to the United States.
Congressman, you know what a silly question that is.
This isn't Fox anymore.
Pete Hegseth walked into a congressional hearing room thinking he was still on the Fox News couch. He was not. A Marine, a real one, sat across from him. And for 5 minutes, Congressman Carbajal did what nobody in that building had the guts to do. He didn't ask questions. He performed an autopsy on Pete Hegseth while Hegseth was still breathing. Watch this.
As a gentleman from California, Mr. Carbajal.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. It shouldn't come as no surprise that I have serious concerns with both the deployment of the National Guard and the Marines to Los Angeles. I served in the Marine Corps. We are trained to be war fighters, not for crowd control. Everyone here should be alarmed that the president has sent armed forces into a city against the wishes of a governor and mayor. I am concerned this administration is purposely escalating the situation with this step and politicizing our armed forces in the process. Let's call it for what it is. It's political theater. Hegseth, are the Marines in Los Angeles ordered to protect property by any means necessary?
Sir, I would say the ICE officers and police officers being attacked is not political theater. The National Guard and Marines...
Just yes or no. Just yes or no.
The National Guard and Marines have the full authority to protect federal ICE agents.
Yes or no.
Can
you just say yes or no? This isn't Fox anymore. Just yes or no.
They're there to protect federal agents and federal...
Another BS answer. Under the SRUF, the use of force, are Marines allowed to fire warning shots?
No.
Now that's more like it. Isn't that easy? Well, you know, I'm going to beat this drum because you refuse to take responsibility. Will you take responsibility for having made a mistake? Not to mention, many people would say break the law in participating in the Signal group chat that included a journalist, your wife, your brother, where classified information was shared.
Sir, every way I communicate is authorized.
Okay, if you want to say that. I have called for your resignation. I didn't think you were qualified before your confirmation, and you have done nothing to inspire confidence in your ability to lead competently. You broke the law in sharing classified information, and in doing so, endangered the lives of our service members that you are responsible for. Your inability to hold yourself accountable makes you incapable to lead. This alone makes you unfit to be the Secretary of Defense. Secretary, do you think the United States should continue supporting Ukraine in its fight against Russia, a nation that is hostile towards the United States?
Well, as you know, sir, President Trump is committed to peace.
No, I just want yes or no answers.
Today, the United States has spent billions of dollars.
Yes or no? Yes or no?
Over years.
Just yes or no. Can I get a yes or no out of you?
We continue to send...
Come on.
...presidential drawdown
It's that easy. Kindergartners can give me a yes or no. Yes or no.
Yes, we support peace in Ukraine.
Come on. Is this really leadership? You're an embarrassment to the United States. If Russia invades NATO allies, are you going to recommend to the president that we fulfill our Article 5 obligations?
Well, Russia has not invaded NATO allies.
No.
President Trump
No. I reclaim my time. Yes or no? It's that simple.
There's Article 5 in NATO, which we recognize.
So is the answer yes or no?
That's what Article 5 is, yes.
Good. I'm glad you brought yourself to saying yes. Do you think political allegiance to Trump is a requirement for serving our nation, either in uniform or a civilian in the department?
I'm incredibly proud, as are millions of Americans.
No. Not today, Hegseth. Yes or no?
Congressman, you know what a silly question that is.
But
It's
silly enough
fidelity
to
to the
warrant a
Constitution.
very straightforward answer. Yes or no?
We all support and defend the Constitution of the United States.
You know
We're
what?
proud to serve
I'm not going to
President
waste
Trump.
my time anymore. You're not worthy of my attention or my questions. You're an embarrassment to this country. You're unfit to lead. And there's been bipartisan members of Congress that have called for your resignation. You should just get the hell out and let somebody competently lead this department.
Mr. Chairman, do we not have any decorum in here?
Thank you very much. I yield my time.
Gentleman yields back. And I would urge everybody to remember and maintain a decorum suitable for this chamber with their further comments.
This isn't Fox anymore. 5 words. 5 words that broke Pete Hegseth's entire operating system in real time. Because that's exactly what he thought this was. Another friendly couch, another soft toss, another chance to smirk into a camera and say words that sound like answers without being answers. And then Carbajal walked in, a man who actually wore the uniform, not as a costume, not as a TV prop, not as something to mention when you need to dodge accountability, looked Pete Hegseth dead in his glassy eyes and said, "You are unfit to lead." Not implied it, not danced around it, said it out loud in a federal building, on camera to his face. And the only thing Hegseth could do was sit there with that smirk slowly dying like a candle running out of wax. Here's what happened in that room that nobody is talking about loud enough. Carbajal asked the simplest question a Secretary of Defense could ever be asked. Are Marines in Los Angeles ordered to protect property by any means necessary? Yes or no? Pete Hegseth, the man who runs the most powerful military on earth, could not answer that question. Not because he didn't know the answer, because every answer was wrong for him. Say yes, and you've just confirmed you sent armed troops into an American city with shoot-first authority. Say no, and you've undermined the entire operation Trump sent him there to perform. So he did what he always does. He opened his mouth and produced the political equivalent of a car alarm, loud, annoying, saying absolutely nothing, impossible to ignore, solving no problem. And Carbajal just kept cutting through it. Pete Hegseth can give me a yes or no. That line landed like a brick through a window. Because it's true. My nephew is 7 years old. He can answer yes or no. He answers yes or no about whether he brushed his teeth when he absolutely did not brush his teeth. He still manages to say the word. Pete Hegseth, Princeton-educated, self-described warrior, secretary of the entire United States Department of Defense, cannot locate yes or no when the cameras are rolling and Trump is watching. Then comes the signal question, and this is where it gets beautiful in the most devastating way possible. Carbajal accused Hegseth of breaking the law by sharing classified information on Signal in a chat that included a journalist, his wife, and his brother. And Hegseth's response, said with a completely straight face, was, "Every way I communicate is authorized." This is the man who 3 months ago accidentally added the editor of The Atlantic to a group chat discussing active military strike coordinates. That man just told Congress under oath that everything he communicates is authorized. Sit with that for a second. And then when Carbajal asked if political allegiance to Trump was a requirement for serving in the military, Hegseth started doing his proud patriot speech, and Carbajal just cut right through it. Not today, Hegseth. The thing that former Marines across the country felt in their chest, your inability to hold yourself accountable makes you incapable to lead. This alone makes you unfit to be the Secretary of Defense. Get the hell out. Nobody says that. Nobody in that building says that out loud. They write it in op-eds. They whisper it in hallways. They save it for fundraising emails. Carbajal walked in and said it to his face because he is a man who learned what accountability actually means, not from a Fox News contract, not from a presidential appointment, but from the United States Marine Corps. And what did Hegseth do when it was over? Nothing. He sat there. He waited for the timer to run out. He served at the pleasure of the president. That's all he knows how to do. And this man is still in that chair, still smirking, still not answering. One word in the comments for what Pete Hegseth is, because I genuinely cannot print mine here.